Hey, this is Paul from Barcode Industries. Today I'm going to show you how to create a huge cinematic pad with a great surround image in Beyond Provenance. Plenty of the principles I'm going to talk about apply to stereo as well, but to fully immerse yourself in this video, go download it from our website so you can hear it in 5.1. The link is in the description below. Let's get started. First things first, let's get Beyond set up to work in surround. If you haven't already, be sure to install the output section presets we provided with Beyond. They're in the documentation folder under additional files. Copy them to User, Library, Application Support, Native Instruments, Kontakt, Default, Output Section Presets. Now head over to your DAW and instantiate a 5.1 instance of Kontakt. I'll be using Logic today, but the same principles apply across all platforms. Once Kontakt opens, go ahead and select the preset Beyond Surround. This preset has outputs ready to go for left-right, center LFE, and surround left and surround right. As you can see here, the output labeled left-right is assigned to 1-2, center LFE is 3-4, and the surrounds are 5-6. This channel order is known as the SMPTE standard. Another common setup, known as the AES EBU standard, has the surrounds as 3-4 and center LFE as 5-6 instead. If this is the channel order you use on your system, then select Beyond Surround Alt Routing. Now that our channel configuration is set properly, let's load up Beyond. In the Instruments folder, there are two versions of the instrument, Beyond Provenance and Beyond Provenance Plus. Today we're going to be using Provenance Plus. It contains some additional features that will allow us to better work in surround. More on that in a bit. Alright, now that Beyond is loaded, let's get to the fun part. First, let's set the voice count to 9. Enable the sequencer on both sources, and load in SuperSaw as the source for each. Obviously, this doesn't sound quite like a pad. So let's go in and change the sequencer type to unison. For good measure, I'm also going to go ahead and enable the pan sequencer and use the stutter preset to pan each step hard left and right. Then, click into the functions box and select A to B, and click here to copy our sequence over to the other source. Now we're headed in the right direction. But wait, what about surround, right? To bring this into surround, we're going to head into the settings menu here, click over to global settings, and click enable individual outputs. This feature is essentially what sets apart the plus version of Beyond Provenance. Now click edit. This page will allow us to assign each step of the sequencer to a specific output in Kontakt. As you can see here, everything is currently assigned to left-right. So if I click here, I can select the surrounds from the menu. Then I can click C to copy and P to paste here, and here, and here. Also, I'll set step 9 to center LFE. Now when I play, check it out. But we're just getting started. Now let's shape this into a huge cinematic pad. To make this even more fat, we're going to do a couple of things. First, let's go back to the sequencer page. On the pitch sequencer, let's take these steps an octave down, and on the other source, let's take these steps up by a fifth, or 7 steps. Now we have... That's pretty big, but we can make it even bigger. Let's go to the LFO, set it to sample and hold with a speed of around 5 to 6 Hz. Then apply just a little bit to the tune, and you'll immediately notice the surround image open up. Now, let's shape the volume envelope. Simply set the attack to around 4 seconds, and the release to around 6 seconds. And we'll leave a sustain at 100%. Now let's add a filter. Set the cutoff to around 180 Hz. Then add an envelope, bringing it up to about 6K. I'm going to add in some randomness here as well. This will make the cutoff of each step of the sequencer a little bit different and really fill out the sound. I'll set this to around 360 Hz, or about an octave in musical terms. Let's also add in a bit of resonance, just about 5%, but then have the envelope open it up to around 25%. This will really bring out the separation we created with the random. Lastly, set the attack of the mod envelope to around 10 seconds. Link the decay and release and set them to about 20 seconds. I'll also option click on each of the unused modulators just to remove them from processing. And now check it out. and that's how big it sounds without any reverb. But let's add some in just for good measure. I've got the pre-delay set to around 50 milliseconds, size, shape, and distance all at 50%, and the time set to around 6 seconds. And there we go. You're going to be hard-pressed to find a fatter sound with a surround image like this using any other synth out there, software or hardware. One last note, to save this as a preset, rather than using snapshots, you'll actually want to save this as a Kontakt multi. This will not only save the parameters in Beyond, but also the output configuration we set up in Kontakt, which is equally important for recalling the surround routing in this patch. We've also included a handful of surround multis with Beyond Provenance, including this one, to kickstart your inspiration. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, head over to barcodeindustries.com to learn more about Beyond.